Most coaches over 50 are not quitting their business because they're not good coaches. They're quitting their business because they never gave their business a chance to grow. I do not want that to happen for you. My name's Debbie Shadid. I've coached over 10,000 women, helping them build and grow successful, profitable coaching businesses. In this episode, I want to actually have a heart-to-heart talk with you. I want to talk about the real work that has to happen behind the scenes of your business to help you build a business that will support your life and that doesn't feel like it takes over your life. I want you to build a boutique-style coaching business, one with structure, with boundaries, with a professional image, but most importantly, one that really fits your life, that fits your desired lifestyle, your desired schedule, one that you will love for years to come. I bet you have started and stopped. You've invested in coaching programs. You've promised yourself you were going to get your business built. You were going to show up on social media, and then you didn't. Maybe you're still redeciding your niche. You're thinking, I'm going to change my niche, and that will be the answer. You're redoing your website. I don't know. What are all the things you've tried that have stalled out the growth of your business? Here's the thing. You're not just growing a business. It is like you are raising it. Now, I don't know if you've had children of your own or not, but what I can tell you is that having a business is just like having a baby. You start out with a baby and you have to help raise it. It takes consistency and nurturing and structure. It takes time. None of us expect a baby to just grow up quickly, right? We should not expect the same thing of our business. So often people start their business and I meet them, they're like, I'm not making any money yet. Maybe I've made a mistake. I'm like, no, you haven't made a mistake. You haven't given it time. You haven't nourished it in the right way. You have to guide your business as if it's the baby, step by step. And maybe you don't even know the steps that you should be taking for your business. Your business deserves this attention. If you're building a business for the rest of your life, this is just a few weeks, a few months where you get intentional about really building it. You give it the consistent love, attention, and commitment. And you do that until you have the foundation set. So let's be honest for a minute. The coaching industry has sold you a bunch of BS. They have told you things that are just not true. They've given you the impression that you could book 5 clients by Friday. And I know that I fell for the same thing many times. And sometimes I still do. Like you see something that looks so enticing. You're like, wait, how did they do that? But what I can tell you is those people also did not start overnight. Now, there's probably some people that aren't super honest and they can make themselves look like they've done things that they maybe haven't done. But the truth is, your business, and that's who I'm talking about, your business, it just needs time and structure. The first question is, are you treating your business as if this is your real job? And I know you don't want a job. That's why you have a business. But let me tell you, if you actually had a boutique down the street, that's what I teach my clients. Imagine a boutique that you are paying rent on, that you are paying utilities on. You walk in through the door, you unlock it, and you go to work. You would have set hours. You would get dressed as if you were going to work. You would have a dedicated workspace. You'd be taking your business seriously. You'd be telling people about it. Your coaching business deserves that same level of respect. It's not a hobby. You're building something real, and it deserves to be treated like a real business. And you don't do it on the dining room table where you're also folding the laundry, right? You don't scroll for inspiration when you already know what you should say. And let me take you back in case you have not listened to the other episodes. If you have a niche that is the right niche, you won't be scrolling for inspiration because you'll know what to do. If you have a professional brand set up, you'll know how to show up. Those things together are all the inspiration that you need to be able to get going in your business. Yes, I know that you need to know how to do it, right? The how of doing social media, of promoting your business. And you don't wait for motivation. You just show up. There are many days in my business, and I've been in business over 2 decades working for myself, many days when I don't want to show up, but I want a really incredible business and I want to help people and I want to make a difference. And I'm the CEO of my company, so I have to show up. I have to keep my word to myself. Distractions, you just decide that they're not a problem. Because here's the truth, and you may not want to hear this. Most of the things that you think are distractions are not actually distractions. You don't have to go do the laundry right now instead of writing your social media post. You don't have to scroll instead of connecting with people. You don't have to redo a Canva graphic instead of sending a follow-up email. There are so many things in your business that look like real work. What you need to do is talk to people about your business. Yes, it takes courage, but my dear one, you have done incredibly courageous things in your life, and this is just about learning how to do it and doing it until you get better at it. I get it. Putting yourself out there is scary. When I first started on Zoom, and that was in 2017, I was so scared to record myself in my own house, and nobody was on Zoom with me. I was just practicing how to do Zoom. I would not even watch the video back if my husband was home. It sounds so ridiculous to me now, but this is common. I have all kinds of coaches that tell me they don't want anybody to hear them talking about their business. They don't want anybody to see them doing their business. I understand how scary visibility is. I remember trying to talk and my heart was beating so hard and my throat was so tight. I sounded so breathy. The first time I did a workshop and we did the edits on it, I actually had to send it to somebody to edit. The guy was like, I edited like 200 edits out of that. Like, what is wrong? I'm like, I was nervous. So I understand what it's like. I also understand that making the actual offer, which is the part that you know you need to do, is hard. But I cannot stress to you enough, when you know your niche, when you know how to talk about your niche, when you understand what your offer is, when you love your price, all these things are things that you have to learn how to do. When you have all those things, when you know how to have a comfortable conversation about your offer, about how you can support somebody, it's just a matter of practicing. It's just a matter of making the offers even while you feel, I always say, like you're naked running down the street. You remember streakers? That's how you feel. It's hard to do it until you've done it enough times. What I want to tell you is mindset work is necessary. As a coach, if you haven't had mindset training, I would highly encourage you to read some books, to watch some videos. I talk a lot about mindset in our podcasts and on YouTube. Mindset is critical to my success. I have to look at what I'm thinking all day long. Let's take dieting, for example. If you want to lose weight, and you catch yourself eating, like snacking or in the refrigerator and you're not hungry, you have to have the self-discipline and the mindset where I'm committed to what I'm doing and, oh wait, I don't need to be eating this, and you put it back. That's the same mindset and strength and determination you have to have for your business. And there are many things in your life that you have done and succeeded, that you have committed and decided, I'm going to buy a house, and you found a way to buy a house. I'm going to get a promotion, and you found a way to get a promotion. You have accomplished so much. That same discipline and energy and commitment has to be applied to your business. This is your job until it becomes your business. You've got to get in there and do it. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying, but there is work right now that has to be done. Once you get that foundation set, then you feel a little bit more freedom, as if you do have the freedom to set up the schedule that you want in your business. So let's talk about building this boutique style coaching business. This is one of the core concepts in my coaching. And so what does that look like? It's a business that has structure. And you really intentionally decide what your business is going to look like so it can look like that. You decide how it's going to be structured so it will be structured like that. You decide, I'm not going to answer emails at midnight. I'm not going to work 7 days a week. I don't want to have a business where I'm chained to it. And I want to tell you that you can do that from the very beginning. What happens during your work hours is mostly you wasting time. I'm sorry to tell you that, but most of your time is probably spent looking for the one thing. And what I would rather tell you is there's not one thing. There's not one thing that's going to get you clients. It's several things. There's not one business that makes money overnight. It doesn't matter what people are showing online. That's just not reality for most coaches. But are you willing to put in, let's say, 3, 4, 5, 6 months? Are you? To land your first paying client? Are you willing to work for that year, that 1 year's time, to really build a business that will be your business for a lifetime? You have to decide how you're going to navigate the marketing. And what I want to tell you is, as I've said all along, all of this is initial stages of building your business. When you have a boutique style coaching business, one of the things I talk about is we repurpose the content. I help clients build those content pillars and set that foundation in place where you can repurpose your marketing. And I know people talk about that, but nobody really explains how to do it. We get down to the nitty gritty of how to do it. And then setting sort of parameters with your clients. In the beginning, you're just at the client's beck and call. You're like so glad to be selling your coaching. You're like, yeah, I'll answer a call anytime, day or night. I remember doing that. I'd coach on Sundays, on Saturdays, in the evening. It didn't matter. Whenever the client wanted coaching, I was there. But you will begin to grow a business where you're like, no, I'm not going to work at night. Or maybe like I do, sometimes I'm with my grandkids in the afternoon and I decide intentionally to work in the evening so I can be with them during the day. You get to decide how you want to do it. This is your business, your boutique style coaching business that you design. And when it's closing time, you leave your office and you leave the work behind. I want you to be thinking about that. How can you approach your business as if you have a business, because you do, and then treat it with that same level of respect? I want to tell you a story. It was a Sunday several months ago. I was driving home from church and I was at the corner of our cul-de-sac. And I just had this moment of gratitude. I get emotional thinking about of gratitude for myself because I had not quit. I did the things that were hard. I worked the extra hours. I learned the technology. The same way that you feel strung out, I just didn't have anybody guiding me. This is why I do this work with our clients, where I say, let me give you the hand-holding support that you need to get this done. I was working until my business came together. And at that moment when I was driving home, I had this like, wow, because I did not quit, I have what I wanted. In fact, I have more than I ever imagined that I could have. And it's not because I'm a business coach, because you can have any kind of business you want. The world needs your help. It does not matter what kind of coaching you do. If you've heard the episode about niching, it's important to pick the right niche. That's something that we help our clients with. Find a niche that people will pay, where there's a real desire for transformation. Those businesses can grow and thrive. I know you want time freedom. And that comes from getting this foundation laid. I know that you want financial freedom. And that is the moment that I had sitting there at the corner of like, oh my goodness, I did this. I did it because I didn't quit. The moment that I was thinking that, I think I was like 3 years into my business. But yeah, the first year I made money. The second year I made more money. The third year, wow, I did phenomenal. That can be the same result for you. It compounds. It's just like interest in the bank. It compounds. But what I can tell you is the results in your business compound so much faster. So in that moment, I felt so proud of myself. And I want you to experience that too. I didn't quit. I don't want you to quit. I didn't quit even when I was like, none of this is working. Nobody wants what I have. Even when I had to finance my business on credit cards, many times I was paying for things with credit cards because that's how I ran my business, because I wanted to get to the next level. I was hiring coaches that were expensive coaches because they knew more than what I knew. I stayed with it, and if you do that, you can have the exact same experience. So don't quit on yourself. You've probably already done more work than you're even giving yourself credit for. You've invested your time. You've invested money. You have learned. You have grown personally. The personal growth that comes from having your own business, my goodness, that is far more than what you could ever imagine. You have come into this like an unpolished diamond, and you're in the process of becoming a shiny diamond. You're doing this because this is your lifetime experience. It's your purpose. It's what you're meant to do. So, who wins? The people who keep going. Yes, there's a period of hustle. Yes, there's a period of grind, but it is not forever. That's why we plan for what your vision is. That's why we think about how you want your brand to be represented. That's why we think about this boutique business that you're building. We plan for the hours and then you work towards it. The second that I found out that my daughter was pregnant, I was like, I have worked hard my whole life and I am going to start today planning a different schedule for myself because I'm going to be present for these kids. And that means you start planning for a business that fits that stage in your life. Because of my business and my commitment to my business, I was able to take care of my mother and my grandmother at the end of their life. You get to do that, but only if you stick with it. I know, I'm going for it today, aren't I? I want you to decide what you want. You decide, even if you are working full time, and so many of our women who are over 50 are trying to figure out, how do I get out of my corporate career? Even if you're doing that and you say, Debbie, I've got 5 hours a week to work on my business, I'll tell you what to do with those 5 hours. I have a client who had 4 hours to work on her business. And every week she would say, what should I do? I'd say, don't watch one single YouTube video, only do this one thing. And she would do it. She treated the business as if it was her job to get it built. And she got it built and she had clients within weeks. So you need structure. Even if you're just going to build a business a few hours, you need your family, your friends, your loved ones to know, I'm serious about this. Do not interrupt me during business hours. You need to show up with your business mindset in place and your business clothes on. Whatever that is for you, show up, stop scrolling. Every time you find yourself on Amazon, like I do sometimes, I'm like, what am I doing here? You just shut the page and you go back to doing your work. Plan your schedule. Stop wasting time. Believe that your success is inevitable, because that is what I believe. Your success is inevitable. It's just a matter of putting the puzzle together correctly. It's a matter of learning the skill, improving the skill, assessing, and then showing up again week after week. That is how you do it. You don't need to build a big business. So many of the women that I work with are like, in reality, I don't really want to have a business that requires a team. That just doesn't sound fun. But I want to have something meaningful. I want to make enough money to do some extra things. I want to make the money to travel. Whatever it is, we have the things that we want to do. I want to spend money on my grandkids. Like, I get to spend money on my grandkids that I didn't have for my daughter. What is it for you? I want you to start believing it's not too late. You're not behind. You're not too old. Just because you're 50 and you didn't grow up with social media, or 60 or 70. I have to pause and give kudos to so many of my clients that are not just 70, but mid-70s and beyond, that are building businesses. So if you are 50, 51, 55, 60, I'm 61, and you're thinking like, I don't know if I can do this. You can do this. I know you can. I had a private client that worked with me a few years ago that was 76 when she started her business. Anything is possible if you believe it is and if you're willing to put in the time. So don't quit, my dear one. I am so excited for this journey that you're on. I want to invite you to watch our masterclass where I'm actually going to show you the framework for building a profitable coaching business. This will give you a high-level overview of what you need to do. Click on the link in the description. Thank you so much for being here on this series. Do not forget that you have gifts, that you have something to give to this world, that you can change the world one person at a time, starting today. All right, my dear, much love to you. Keep up the amazing work. Do not quit. Commit to do this. All right. We'll talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.